What's up, guys? This is Saunter, and I'm going to be doing a synthesis tutorial for you for bass Mongrelz for my artist spotlight. I will be having a single release today on 4/20. You guys can go check that out. I'm going to be working in Serum, and I'm basically going to show you guys how I go about making a synth, my thought process, and it's going to be pretty intermediate. It's going to be pretty simple. So first thing I do is open up Serum. Alright. Now, I do have a slight cold, so don't give me too much crap if I'm coughing and sniffing and whatnot. You start with picking a wavetable. And also I don't have an audio interface, so you are going to be hearing the synth through my microphone, so sorry about the quality on that, but hopefully this can still help you out. You choose a wavetable, and wavetables I like to choose based off of the kind of sound that I am going for. If I'm trying to make a wonkier, more simple sound, you're going to go with a more simple wavetable, such as a square wave or, something of that sort. And then if you're going for a more growl, more heavier type synth, you're going to want to choose something with a little bit more harmonics in it. So a wavetable that's a little bit on the crazier end. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using my personal favorite, which would have to be Dultoy. And keep in mind that in this tutorial, I'm not going to be teaching you how to make a specific sound. It's just more of how I think when I'm making a sound. So I definitely wouldn't try and copy this. Just kind of try and learn from what little I know. But I'm gonna use Dultoy for this. We're making dubstep, so let's throw a LFO on that level. Nice little wobble going. Alright. Now, that sounds a little boring, so let's go ahead and give it some movement. A little better. It does need a little bit more. It needs to be a little more interesting. So to that we go to filters. Now with filters, I don't know, it's completely what you're going for. There's a lot of filters that I enjoy using. Bandpass is definitely one of them. You can get some pretty wacky sounds. Also like using comb filter. Probably my personal favorite, the one I'd say I use the most. And when I'm making synths, it's not really, I mean, it's a lot of tweaking, it's a lot of experimentation to get a sound that I somewhat enjoy. I mean, it's kind of knowing what I'm doing, but not really. Alright, we can work with that. You can change the wavetable a little bit, throw some bend on it. You can actually go in and edit the wavetable, which is one of the awesome things about Serum. go ahead and make it a little bit more simple. Some pretty interesting sounds using comb. Which is why it's my favorite. Alright, that's workable. Let's go on to the effects. See if we can clean this up a bit. I like putting dimension expander on it. Kind of spreads out your sound, makes it sound a little more full. Some detune. There we go, we're getting somewhere with this. We're gonna go ahead and throw a high pass filter on there. Give the sub some room. I like cutting it off like around 175. The chorus as well helps kind of spread it out a bit. Give it some depth, which I enjoy. Let's throw a phaser on here. We can go ahead and make it real Riddim-y. Yeah, a lot of tweaking. Just figuring out. A lot of experimentation. We need some reverb on here, definitely. Compression is something that will help make your synth a little more punchy. Really help it stand out. And you're gonna wanna mess with the parameters a bit. Kind of get a sound you're going for. Multiband compression can be really cool, but I like using that more for the heavier sounds. I don't know. Let's see what flanger can do for us. Yeah, it's a little too much for me. Not feeling that too much. The sub oscillator in Serum is something that can be very useful. You just pitch it down to direct out, so it's not going through any of the effects. I don't use the sub oscillator very often because I like to have full control over it, and I like to be able to dedicate a mixer track specifically. I mean, I know you can split mixer tracks, but I mean, it's, I don't know, just my workflow. But it does have a very good sub in the actual VST. Definitely suffices. That's kind of a cool sound. One thing that's very important in terms of synthesis would have to be EQing the synth. I am using FL Studio, so hopefully all you Ableton, Logic, Reason users can still learn a little bit. So you're going to want to find basically where the sound is most prominent. You're going to want to make it shine in the mix. So you're going to want to EQ the frequencies you are not using for the sound. This synth it has a lot of mid-range frequency, which isn't actually very common in my sounds, but that's alright. One thing you can do, the noise oscillator in Serum is very cool. A lot of different sounds to work with. It's cool to give your sound a little bit more high end. I mean, it's gonna sound awful until you use it correctly. And that is the wrong LFO. There we go, there's something. I don't know, not really the typical synth I'd be making, but I don't know, I could definitely work with that. I don't know, messing with pitch bend is kind of fun. Maybe some vibrato is fun to throw on synths as well. Doubtful for this one though. Well, that's basically how I go about making a synth. Obviously, I'd spend a lot more time on it, but considering this is a tutorial, I don't want to spend too much time. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and hit me up on Facebook, SoundCloud, whatever. You can find me, Saunter Dubstep. Shout out to Bass Mongrelz. Expect big things out of them. Yeah, thanks for tuning in.